Hello, it's me, RR Lee, and this is the Plain Tofu Survivor, otherwise known as the Knife Tofu, because all he decided to bring with him when he left his house for the day is cutlery. He brought 16 knives with him and some healing. He brought a full heal and a shield that we want to save for the very end of this so that we can tank some hits, because we are regrettably going to have to tank some hits for this. It is very, very difficult to get through this without taking damage because of 4 specific enemies that I will be pointing out as we get to them. Everything else is just as bad as it was for the other tofus, especially the dogs, because we have no crowd control items. We do not have a flash, we do not have a grenade, we don't have anything to deal with enemies from far away or enemies that are grouped up. So any damage that we take is regrettable, but we kind of have to take it in order to progress. Aside from those 4, the 4 that I'm going to mention, those are just disgusting. The dog decided not to come to us. He just hang back for whatever reason, and he took a bite out of us. That is just rude, and he's coming back for thirds. The greed of that dog. We're gonna stab the zombie, and I was supposed to have immunity from that. I disagree. I stab you. You would think that that would be enough to tell you to stay away from this block of jiggly delicious tofu, but sadly, it didn't seem like he wanted to take no for an answer. This zombie on our left, he was way too slow in turning around. He did not know what he was looking at. It took him time to process what he was seeing, and that is how we were able to get by without getting bit. These G's up ahead though, we can lure them. Well, hopefully just the one that is hidden to us. We're gonna pop him up, and then we're gonna run to this corner that we just passed by, because he will not come this far to grab us. And you are too close to the wall. If he wouldn't have been so close, we could have gotten against the wall and he would have thrown us in the direction that we wanted to go, but sadly that did not work. And I am going to stab a second knife on top of that first one and kill you, sir. And he pushed us back into the second G that was behind us. That was nice. We didn't go as far back, so we were able to get around instead of getting stuck in an infinite knife loop. Very cool of you, G, to do that, but you still took an extra knife that you did not need to take. And the zombie that is usually here on these stairs is not here this time like it was for the other tofu for whatever reason, so we're just gonna run behind him and get on the elevator up. Now, for the next room, it is the same as the other ones, except if they are already standing, we're just gonna run directly into whatever zombie's arms is closest to us so that we can stab them, get some immunity, and run through. They are in the process of getting up, so we are fine. And we are reaching that first reason, that first point of why this is so difficult. This liquor will either slash or use a tongue whip. He's decided to slash. I'm not going to move the camera and look at him. If I look at him, he has a lower chance of hitting us, but it really doesn't matter because I'm not doing this no damage. It's fine. We're getting through this regardless. Don't worry about it. The tofu has a lot of chunks missing out of it, but it's perfectly fine. It's healthy. It's in the yellow. It's in the yellow. It still has some life in it. It's still not expired. It's still not expired. And these dogs up ahead are going to take another bite out of it. This narrow corridor is going to get me bit. Yep, it got me bit. That is what not having crowd control does to a piece of tofu. It gets chunks taken out of them. I hate you, dog, for doing that. We're going to stab this guy, and we're going to stab the other guy that we've been doing. Hi, how are you? Take a knife. And in the next room, we just gotta listen to make sure that there are no dogs coming. Is there a dog? I don't hear a dog. So I guess we're fine. Even if there would be one, there isn't much that we can do because we just have knives. And we're gonna run. Oh, we're gonna run to the door. I did not hear you coming up behind me. You could have made some noise. That would have been nice. Now for the second point, the second reason, Mr. X over here, we can either get around him by running along the wall, or we can't. Like now, how we can't. He will punch us sometimes. I do not know why sometimes we are able to get around him by running along that wall, and other times we are not. I don't know if it's camera placement, or if I'm just running too fast, which seems weird because we always run at the same speed, and I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. I was going too fast. I gotta heal now. We're gonna heal. We're not gonna use the shield. We'll make the shield, but we're not gonna use it until we get to the end. We just have to not get grabbed. Don't do that. Do not take a bite out of my fresh tofu block. I just restored my chunks. Don't. We are going to stab this guy. We're gonna stab the next guy in the other room. Gonna stab him, push him back, keep away. This is not for you. Okay? This is for human consumption only. You are legally classified as not human anymore, okay? There's a liquor here. I have no idea where it is, though, over here. But Mr. X should be coming behind us. Yeah, he is. He'll block the liquor for us with his rotund body. We're just gonna run into this zombie's arm so that we can get some immunity and run into the next room. We want Mr. X to be behind us for this, because we need to stab the liquor up ahead so that we can get more immunity and get by. And him punching us while we're at full health isn't what we want. We want to be at full health for the end of this, because we may run out of knives after the ivy at the end, depending on how this goes. This guy, we just gotta run next to the door, hop on through, goodbye. He got hung up on the zombie that was getting up. I don't know why sometimes he's able to pass through him, but he got hung up that time. We're gonna pass by the good boy, the only good boy. I'll let go of his previous transaction of attacking me once as hunk. I brought it up before, but I will let it slide because he hasn't done it ever since. You know, everybody can have their bad days. And we're going to take our shield here because we may get grabbed more than once and from behind. And the shield will last us for the remainder of the game. Gonna walk. We don't want to trigger the liquor. We don't want to get tongue whipped. And we are at the third point. We need to slash this zombie in the legs or head to stun it. And it's stunned. If that would not have stunned, he would have grabbed us and we would have taken unavoidable damage because we were on the stairs. That is the third point. That is the skill check / luck-based element. And there is one more coming up. The first two, I would argue, is RNG, getting by Mr. X and that liquor. But that one is skill-based, and the game still has the option of telling you no. It can say, oh no, you hit him, but no stun for you. Go back to the beginning. That is what I do not like. Over here, we're going to try and get grabbed by the ivy because it is our halfway point. And we still have some knives. Correction, we have a knife. We have singular knife, I believe, just one. And we're at the last point. This guy down here. We need to slash him in the head. That was on his collarbone. That was on his collarbone, and Mr. X is behind us now. That is the more difficult one. That is also the most heartbreaking one, because you can get to the very end of this without taking damage. And if you just mess up that last swipe, no more, no damage. Gotta replay the whole thing. And also, there's no way to disrespect Mr. X in this mode. Plain Tofu has no way of disrespecting Mr. X, which is just wrong. Just wrong. I hate that. I disagree with that. He needs a bigger knife.
I wanted to meet the Grim Reaper.
9:32. A decent time in my opinion. And that is all the time that I have for this today. I would like to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you'll enjoy the next one as well. Goodbye.